In this video, we're going to cover how to operate the stoplight on a Matko remote display that has a stoplight attached. Having a stoplight on your Matko remote display can help for several different reasons. One of those reasons is safety. Having a stoplight can indicate to drivers when it's safe to move forward and when it's not safe to go. This can help prevent accidents and make sure that everyone involved is aware of what's happening. Another reason is efficiency. By using a stoplight to indicate when trucks should stop or proceed, you can improve efficiency on the site. This can reduce wait times and improve productivity, which ultimately saves time and money. Another thing to consider is compliance. If you're operating a truck scale or a highway truck stop, you may be required to use a stoplight to comply with state or local governments. So before we get started, it's important to note that there are many options that you can use for controlling a stoplight. You can have very advanced functionality, but we're not going to cover all of the options here. We're just going to go over the two most common configurations that most people use when they're installing a stoplight unit. The first of the two configurations is operating the stoplight with a closed contact switch. Any closed contact switch will do, but you can pick up a standard light switch from your hardware store, and this will work just fine for most applications. The second of the two options is operating the stoplight through the data stream. This gives your indicator the control over whether the stoplight turns red or green. It is important to note that whatever method you decide to use, whether you're using a closed contact switch or you're controlling it through the data stream, the stoplight will not work on its own. What I mean by that is there must be wait data on the display in order to operate the stoplight. If you do not have data coming into the display, the stoplight will not operate. If you do need to operate the stoplight without any wait data, we have another product called a standalone SG that's specifically designed for this purpose. Now, for today's demonstration, we're going to be working with a 6-inch Matko remote display with an attached stop and go light. Even though we're working with a 6-inch display, all of the steps we're covering today will work on a 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 9-inch model if it has a stop and go light attached. The closed contact switch is by far the most common way of controlling a stoplight. So that's the first method that we're going to cover in this video. If you're not operating the stoplight with a closed contact switch, you can skip ahead in the video to the section where we talk about operating the stoplight through the data stream. With the closed contact switch version of this setup, when the switch is flipped one direction, the light will turn red, and when it's flipped the other direction, the light will turn green. The first step is to connect the two wires to the two available terminals on the switch. In my demonstration today, I'm using two different colors attached to the light switch, with black representing the ground. Now let's look at the communication board on the side of the display. Looking at the communication board, as I mentioned earlier, you first need to verify that you have a data stream coming into your display, as the stoplight will not activate unless you have some kind of data coming in. I have some RS-232 data coming into this display, and you can verify that by looking at the RS-232 data light indicator. Now, the ground wire coming off of your stoplight control switch, in our case, the ground wire is black, needs to be tied into the ground on your terminal strip. And yes, this is the same slot on your terminal strip that the RS-232 ground is going to. So you should have two wires going into the same terminal. And the white wire coming off of your stoplight control switch needs to go into slot number 13, which is labeled green. All that's left to do is to set the options in the remote display so that the display knows that we're using a closed contact switch to control the stoplight. First, we need to get into the options menu. In order to do that, just press the reset button on the display and then hold the left button. And just wait until the display says the word option. Once you see the word option, you can let go of the left button. Now you can repeatedly press the left button or hold it down until you get to option number 21. It's important to note that this is a one-way options menu. So if you pass option 21, you have to reset and hold the left button again in order to start at the beginning. Once you've successfully found option number 21 in the menu, press the right key to get into option 21. Notice once you've started to change this option, you can use the left and right keys to go up and down to change it to whatever value you'd like. To operate the stoplight with a closed contact switch, we need to set the value to 1. Once you see the number 1 on the display, just go ahead and press the Learn button and it'll save that value. Now let's press the left button again to get to option 22. This Matko display is pretty smart. It knows that if you set option 21 to a value of 1, you probably are also going to want to set option 22 to a value of 1 as well. And it's already done that for you, so you can just press the Learn button and save your changes. So what did we just do? In the Matko display, option number 21 controls the red on the stoplight, and option number 22 controls the green. And both of those options have been set to a value of 1, which means that it's going to be controlled by the light switch. So on the light switch, when we have it flipped one direction, the light is green, but we flip it the other direction and the light turns red. Now you can mount this closed contact switch in any location where it's convenient for someone to control the stoplight. If you're operating the stoplight with a closed contact switch, that's essentially all the steps that you need to do. But if you want to change it through the data stream and allow your indicator to take control of when the light turns red and when it turns green, there's a few things that you need to know. The first thing that you need to know is that your indicator has to be set up to control the stoplight first. Once your indicator is set up, in addition to the weight data that's coming through the data stream, there will be 2 additional characters. One of these ASCII characters will control the red portion of the stoplight, and the other character will control the green portion. If the red character is present in the data stream, the red light will be on. If the character is not present, the red light will be off. And the same is true for the green. If the green character is present in the data stream, the green light will be on. And if the green character is not present, it will be off. Now, in our case today, I'm going to be controlling the data stream through a laptop. So I have control over what characters are sent over the RS-232 to the display. But in your situation, the manufacturer of your indicator may have a specific character that it sends to control stoplight, or you may be able to customize what those characters are. The Matko display doesn't know what indicator you have, and it doesn't know what characters you're using to try and drive the stoplight. So we have to tell the Matko what characters we're using. For a demonstration today, I'm going to use the character capital G to control the green light and capital R to control the red light. If neither characters are present, both lights will be off. One of the tools that you can use to assist with this process is a Matko manual. Every Matko display comes with a paper manual in the box, but you can also go to our website and download the latest Matko manual. The reason that having a manual with you is important is because in the back of the manual there's a chart that shows what the numeric to ASCII conversion is. For example, we're going to be using the character capital R to drive the red portion of the stoplight. The numeric version for capital R is 82. In the same way, we're going to be using a capital G to drive the green portion of the stoplight. The numeric value for capital G is 71. Now that you understand what we're doing, let's set the options in the display. I covered some of the information about how to use the options menu when we were going over how to set it up for a closed contact switch. But just in case you skipped over that portion of the video, I'm going to cover it again here. To get into the options menu, press and let go of the reset button and hold the left button until you see the word option. Once you're in the options menu, repeatedly press or hold down the left button until you get to option 21. This menu is a one-directional menu, so if you pass option 21, you're going to need to press the reset button and hold down left again until you see the word options to get back to the beginning. Once you've located option number 21, press the right button to edit the value of option 21. Now that you're editing the value, you can use the left and right keys to go up and down. Since option 21 controls the red portion of the stoplight, we need to change the value to 82. Remember, 82 is the numeric value that represents capital R, which is what we're going to be using to control the red portion of our stoplight. Once it's set to 82, go ahead and press Learn to go back to the main part of the options menu. Now you can see the option number 21 is set to a value of 82. This means that when the display display sees a capital R in the data stream, it'll turn the red portion of the stoplight on. Now, let's press the left key again to get to option number 22. Press the right key to edit the value. And now you can use the left and right keys to change it to a value of 71. And remember, 71 is the numeric value of the symbol capital G. Once you've found the value 71, go ahead and press the Learn button to save your changes. Now you can see that option number 22, which is what controls the green portion of the stoplight, has now been set to a value of 71. Now, when the display sees a capital G coming through the data stream, the green light will turn on. And if the capital G is not present, the green light will be off. Let's press the Learn button to save our changes. Now, when we have a capital G present in the data stream, you can see that the green light turns on. If we erase that capital G and put a capital R instead, the red light will turn on. And if we both have a capital R and capital G in the data stream, both lights will be on. If we don't want any lights on at all, I just remove both of those characters from the data stream. So in this video, we've covered the two most common ways to control a stoplight on a Matko remote display. To take a look at all of the options available to you, you can reference the Matko manual that we discussed earlier. I hope that this video helped you to understand how to control a stoplight on a Matko display. Feel free to check out some of our other videos about other Matko products. Thanks for watching.